Social Justice Goblin, welcome to the backyard. I learned something today. It's so easy to sell when you did it the hard way. Because I totally did my knees the hard way. Trying to be a ref. Anyways, let's get on to our thing. You see, I took notes. I followed my great mentor, Jim McCornett, and took notes on this entire episode. Because I don't take detailed notes like he does, because he's obsessive compulsive. I mean, he has books full of everything. Anyways, it was a great opening spot. It was a great opening spot. Showing, so basically they opened up. Oh, yeah. So they opened up basically, like, showing off all these Twitters, these YouTube reaction videos, all these different, like, this is NWA, and NWA is classic and is cool, and then, they open up with then they open up with kind of like, the whole Champ vs. Storm thing, and they're building up that controversy. That storyline obviously gets resolved by the end of the studio, you realize? So the audience is like, they're only doing one episode each hour, so they're filming 4 episodes back to back. Or 5 possibly even back to back. And so, like, the storyline goes through those 4 arcing episodes, so the crowd can react and get the story going while they're going there, if you notice. And they also only get really, like, they charge a small fortune for their tickets, and they go fast. So they know they have hyper fans on their hands. And they show crowd shots. It's just, they got that. And this whole Storm, oh my God. Okay. I'm going to put this out there right now. Storm, there are too many friggin' Storms. I expect Lance Storm to come walking out of that Canadian WCW wannabe great. No, Lance Storm was awesome. I loved him. Great head for the business. But I mean, I expect Lance Storm to come popping out from behind a curtain at some point in this. Maybe not in this series, maybe like 3 series from now, but at some point there's gonna be a Lance Storm somewhere in the mix. It's just too good not to, like, go with that prank. And with the Mr. Kennedy's appearance, they're obviously getting older talent. The opening match with Aaron Stevens. Well, Aaron Stevens' interview where he basically, he's playing the Hollywood type. I'm like, who's Aaron Stevens? Is this like some famous person I'm supposed to know? Okay. He acts like he's a thespian. Okay. But Trevor Murdoch versus Ricky Sparks. Now, Trevor Murdoch, that guy could have a match with a broomstick. He got him over, but that kid, no. He kept blowing spots, and I want to like him, but am I supposed to have heat with him, or am I supposed to feel nice for him? I'm confused. He's generating both heat and babyface. I mean, it's like, what are you? Make up your freaking mind. I did love the breaking interview thing. The whole shtick where they had the guy doing the breaking interview. I'm a journalist, and I have Peabody Awards, and a whole bunch of highfalutin. I'm a big old journalist, and I'm bringing the turtle, and I'm fair and balanced. And the champ played that so well. Nick Aldis, he played that so well. I mean, he just, oh my God. It was amazing. Even like, yeah, see? He even gets this girl not to talk, like, because he gets, see? She doesn't talk. It's not me. Like, totally blowing off his heat. But totally still kind of maintaining his heat. It was a very unique way of getting heat. I'm sure Jim Cornette could offer more insight into that. I mean, you'd have to ask him. I don't know how to ask him. Every time I see the Ricky Morton, by the way, whenever I see the Rock and Roll Express, I just like, a little in me wants to see the Midnight Express next to them come up next scene. And then you just see Jim Cornette with his little tennis racket going, because you see scenes where they have Jim Cornette talking, and it's not creepy Jim Cornette. The Colt Cabana and Mr. Anderson thing was really good, and then that they just went up against some. I just put bumping machines. That's all it was getting Mr. Kennedy called over. They just had some bumping machines take bumps left and right. It was just like, okay, how many bumps are we going to take now? Oh my God, oh, I'm tired of taking bumps. Now it's my turn to take bumps. I mean, they were just little bumping machines to get those guys over. Again, with the Storm stuff. So, Tim Storm, the champion, he comes across as a good old Southern boy. Standard Southern redneck. I'm calling it now. He's a redneck, okay? But he's the good kind. He goes to church on Sunday. He takes care of his family. He's good. He's good people. So, I mean, you got to look at it that way. He's good people. But he's still a little bit Southern. We all know what that means. Oh, Lord. Jim Cornette saved the women's wrestling match. Jim Cornette really saved that match. God, you see, I'm reading from my notes, and I'm all over the page and all over the map because I'm like looking at my notes and going, what about that? What was that about? Pontificating about my next question. And then too many storms, Austin. Oh my God. The commercials were flaring hilarious. The one with the guy with the golden tire irons in Paducah, Kentucky. I'm like, Paducah, Kentucky? What the hell is this? You're like, this is something, growing up in Kentucky, this is something you totally would expect from Kentucky. Waffles and tire irons are totally something you would expect growing up in E-Town, Kentucky. Growing up in small town Kentucky. And Paducah says small town Kentucky. Sorry. Bringing back childhood memories. You see the craziest things down in the South. I mean, things that just don't make sense. Like a used car salesman that has there used to be up on the street corner over here in Austin, there was a guy, he had a used car he had like a chapel built on a used car salesman's lot. This is not a joke. This is just the insanity that is the beauty of the South. And so, and being from small town Kentucky, it reminded me of my childhood. Because in the South, man, there are things that just don't make sense, and you just kind of go, all right. And Austin Idol, like doing that retro huckstering of his wrestling promotion, his manager of promotion, with the terrible 80s throwback type. Oh my God, they do such an 80s throwback with all that, like, breaking news and then TMZ and like all the different, like, oh my God, it's a blast. They have a pay-per-view coming out, but I'm not sure what I want to see on the pay-per-view. I'd have to find out what the card is before I show interest. But overall, other than the women's match, and on the Homicide Kingston tag match versus the Wild Cards, Homicide lost his badassness big time. I mean, he went from being like Like, they were, like, Cornette was pumping him up as a badass. And he's just getting his butt beat mercilessly, but he gets his badass back at the end, so. But I lost interest halfway through the match. I'm like, he's this tough badass, and he's just getting the crap beat out of him. Because, I mean, these guys, like, the other guy was like, oh, that's a legit badass. And the women's match, there's so much better women's wrestling out there on the market right now that it's, you know, I mean, the last thing I want to see is a Fabulous Moolah style comeback. Oh, Lord, no more cat fights. But, I mean, just women's wrestling has evolved to way past the point that it works in this retro setting. I mean, the only way it works is kind of a Wendy Rector type character. Maybe go a Glow route. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I'm not over this women's division, and Homicide, man, gotta look like a badass. Oh, and I love this. One thing about the beauty of the studio is after they finish their match, they do the interview after the match so they can rebuild their heat. And, like, you know, the guy can say, you did a good job, kid. And that was awesome when he did that. Old timer did that. I'll get you next time. Totally gave him respect to a kid who really went in a convoluted way and, like, babyface heel? Okay. Alrighty then. So anyways, that's my review. It was really a good show. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm glad I stayed up and watched it. I took notes. I got my pen in here. I got my little notepad in here with my little notes on it. See? I'm learning from Jim Cornette. I'm trying. Anyways, that's my review of the NWO Storm Episode 2.